Story 1, Chapter I. The Seven Magical Adventures of Genii. The Quest for the Ancient Wisdom Map. The Brotherhood of Pau. Presented and narrated by Jim Jara, the storyteller, representing the guiding force of fantasy and magic, residing in Fairy Tale Palace Planet. Chapter I. The Caverns of the Heremites. Located close to the highest mountains inside the planet, the Caverns of the Heremites are situated at one of the largest entrances to Cyclondor. The space inside the mountain was enormous and had been one of the ancient cities of the Sectons before their empire collapsed. It had started out as a limestone mine, and more was dug out, and so this enormous space was created. The ancient buildings were made from limestone, and were now ruins, but one could see how rich that culture in the past had been. There was an old pyramid standing in the center of the city, and many broken statues. After the downfall of the empire, the place had become a settlement for hermits, individuals who were aware of the phenomena death, and consciously came here to prepare themselves for that moment to come, after they had lived a fulfilling life. After many centuries, this place unfortunately also lost its essence, and many individuals came to escape from the normal duties of life. The majority of the new hermits became beggars or individuals supported by their families or group, pretending to be spiritual, or individuals running away from life and being lazy. These hermits started to create small shops with selling statues as souvenirs and making visitors believe that this would give them spiritual uplift. However, among them were still those who came with honesty, completely supported by their own financial means to prepare themselves for death. They left their families in peace when they knew from the inside that their time had come to depart from their mortal body. They told their family members about this fact and departed after a party from their families still alive to never return again in preparation of their death at the caverns. This had been a common journey amongst evolved souls, and the departure, while still being alive, was as well respected by the family members. The celebration after one had passed on was about dance and music, in honor of those who've lived a fulfilling life, and this was just beautiful for the children, not to grow up with fear about physical death. Arriving at the caverns, there was little of these old celebrations felt, but only weeping sounds of the ones that had lost someone. There was not the feeling that the celebration took place of individuals that had lived a fulfilling life. The recyclons had been very busy with making graves for those who were to be buried, and there were many fires that helped in the cremating of others. Standing in between a large crowd, with as well members of the Brotherhood, Dionysus changed everybody back, and it was a shock for the Collecterians to see Morai Amoro and the young girl they had been looking for. As the Collecterians were very superstitious, the word went very fast around that the prophecy they believed in had come through. Many Collecterians bowed in fear to Genii, and others looked with angry faces at her. Genii sat in a corner in deep thoughts and battling between sadness and joy. "What is going on, Genii?" asked Niama. "I was thinking about my dad, that we never had a funeral celebration, because even though I am not sad, I know that he had lived a fulfilling life, and his death could have been a celebration, a dance, and music, and honoring a great man." "We can do that one day, Genii, when the time is right." That sounds great. What do I do with the feeling being responsible for the death of the Collecterians, as I played a great part in this? You played great, but it was just a small part you played, Chennai, answered Toro, who continued saying. It was more Mother Nature who played the bigger part, which I look upon as the Collecterians needed a big message to stop messing around with her. Remember, there was the volcano, the bats, the snakes, and in the end an earthquake. Remember what I told you in Shakania, Janai, when we escaped an earthquake? Added Niyama. Yes, I remember, Grandma. Morai spoke, saying, Janai, we all did what we had to do, but we forget that when it is time to depart, that there is nothing we can do. The birth and death, like life itself, is written in our personal book of life. It was as if magic had ears, and there was Chimjara, ready to entertain them with a story linked to the moment. He announced the story of the king and the angel of death, and started speaking as many other individuals joined. One day, a rich king in the Far East woke up earlier than usual because of some noise in his bedroom. As he opened his eyes, he was frightened by what he saw. Beside his bed stood the angel of death, announcing that he had come for the king. It was his day to depart. The king instantly started an argument with the angel of death, mentioning that this had to be a mistake. I have many things to attend to, taking care of my family and my kingdom. He even pointed out to the angel of death that he had no illness at all. The angel of death, not interested in an argument, disappeared. The king, without having any breakfast, went straight to the stables, saddled 2 of the fastest horses. He announced to his family and those living at the castle that he had to get out of there as there were strange things going on. Changing horses, getting further and further away to a point he couldn't see his kingdom any longer in the late afternoon, he ended up at a deserted area where he noticed a big tree casting a lot of shade. He felt that he had traveled far enough and knew he and the horses needed a rest. After he had tied the horses on the tree and was just about sitting down, the angel of death stepped from behind the tree and spoke. Well done, my king. I almost thought you would not make it on time, because the place and time to depart is right here and now. The listeners had a good laugh with the story, and many continued the mass funeral in a different mood. Shania asked Morai, Morai, what is the pain that everybody experiences when someone dear dies? Morai explained, death is just a way of looking at things, like the death of the past moment, a toy that broke down or anything else for the matter of fact. Death belongs to the things of the mortal world, where everything comes and goes, being a part of a recycling system. The essence of ourselves and the essence of everything is the spirit, the soul, or life force, or whatever name we give to that essence. This is the real us, which lives forever. The pain connected to death is just our attachment to those things or people. Remember, Janai? We all came here to experience the mortal world. Nothing here is ours, and one day we will go without anything. There is nothing we can hold on to. They left the caverns of the hermits and ended up at Urtos Inn. And Janai, who had seen the sign above the entrance door, reading, experience and let go. Yes, she thought, every moment is the death of that moment, and a new birth of a new moment to be experienced and to let go again. At one point in time, Urtos sat with Shania and said, Shania, it was a pleasure meeting you, and thank you for all your help, and please accept my gift. He took out of his symbol on his chest a chip and said, "Shania, this is to install in your computer bracelet," and called the 7-day life-changing adventure program. And with it, the Monday program, which I made for you. It gives you different ideas to make the Monday into a different experience, and it will help you to break away from stagnant habits and routines. Shania accepted the gift and installed it on her computer bracelet, and then started to fill in some leftover blanks at the Sacred Wisdom map in regards to Ertos and the first dimension. After one night at Ertos Inn, they went back to Portico, where a huge crowd had gathered to say farewell, and then Shania, Morai, Niama, and Dionyx left with the golden space carriage into the universe, and Shania fell asleep. Shania back home again. It is Monday morning, and Shania woke up in her bed, a little tired, which you are from an intense dream. She looked around her messy room, went to the bathroom, looked into the mirror, and thought about doing something regarding her weight and appearance. Still confused, waking up from a great dream, she went downstairs and shares her dream with her mother. She explains her mother what she thinks what is causing her back pain, related to having lost her support and part of her life foundation. By realizing it, she cries and states that she thought she couldn't keep it all together. Like a wave of relief came over her, and a lot of her pain just disappeared. Shania told her about treatments and exercises, and both of them are puzzled where all the information had come from. From a dream? There is no further evidence of her adventure, but she thought about looking at her computer bracelet. There she found the 7-day life-changing adventure program with the Monday program, and when she looked at the Sacred Wisdom map, all the blanks in the red color related to Ertos were filled in. She was, however, still not convinced if her adventure had really taken place, because often she discovered programs and information that entered her computer as there was an open internet. In addition, she found a gallery of daily inspirations in order to stay awake and aware, and all connected to the Monday. She started integrating the information instantly. It became cleaning her room and fasting throughout the day, and in the evening preparing a carrot and beet salad with peanuts. During the day, in her actions towards the siblings, she stopped to be controlling. She and her mom got some earth music composition and lit some sandalwood incense. A lot of fear regarding the subject death had left her, and she felt more connected again, connected with her body, her family, and surroundings. That evening, after a long day, after her mother and the twins had gone to bed, Shania returned to the rocking chair of her father, and the dream from the night before slowly faded, and the loneliness struck again with the silence of the night. On one hand, she felt grounded and is grateful for all the knowledge that had come to her, but on the other hand, she feels very puzzled, as there are still so many questions in her mind that have no answer yet. Before going to bed, Shania decided to stay a little longer, awake, and drifted in deep thoughts. Piecing the map. The questions. Which color of the rainbow is connected to Ertos? Blue, indigo, red, yellow, violet, green, or orange? Ertos is the keeper of non-audible communication, air, non-audible higher communication, earth, fire, audible communication, or water. Which is the dimension governed by Ertos? The 6th dimension, the 4th dimension, the 7th dimension, the 2nd dimension, the first dimension, the fifth dimension, or the third dimension. What do you think would be Earthos' main representation in Mother Nature environment on the planet Earth? The eternal sound and light in all. Oceans, lakes and rivers. The non-audible and non-visible. Sun and heat. Audible sounds. Oxygen and wind. Soil, rock, gems, crystals and vegetation. The basic form connected to Earth and Earthos in his dimension is audible sound waves, gases, solids, heat, thought waves, liquids, or energy waves. Do you still remember the main energy sound music note produced by Earthos? T or C, La, Mi, Sol, Fa, Re, or Do. Which is the main body energy center connected to Earthos? Center 2, pelvis, reproductive center. Center 7, crown center. Center 6, forehead, third eye center. Center 4, chest, heart center. Center 3, abdominal navel center. Center 1, rectum, root center. Center 5, throat, throat center. What is the most profound experience through that center? Home of the familiar mind, storehouse of limited and conditioned inheritance, experiencing non-verbal communication with ourselves and everything. Home of the universal mind and universal inheritance, the life force enters the body, door to spiritual inheritance, experiencing communication with Creator. Inhaling and exhaling of all experiences, endurance through all experience, the love for and embracing of all experiences, the circulation of all experiences, the capacity to manifest experience, the elimination and recycling of all experiences, balance between action and rest in all experiences, the digestion of all experiences, the moving through all experiences, maneuverability and flexibility in all experiences, the vitality, creativity and playfulness in all experiences, the procreation force and commitment in all experiences, or experiencing verbal communication with ourselves and everything. What is the main body function of that center? Non-verbal communication with ourselves and the world, moving, acting, adventuring and digesting, verbal communication with ourselves and the world, circulation and breathing, manifestation and elimination, communication with Creator, or procreation, commitment, creativity, flexibility, vitality and immune system. Do you remember which is the duality experience connected to Earthos? The balance between action and rest, digestion and indigestion, while experiencing ourselves and the world. The non-verbal communication and miscommunication with ourselves and the world. The verbal communication and miscommunication with ourselves and the world. The holding on and letting go of all experiences. Communication and miscommunication with Creator. The love and hate, like and dislikes in the relationship with ourselves and the world. Being flexible or inflexible. Creative or too serious with ourselves and all other experiences in the world. Do you remember what the downfall into the negative passion related to Earthos was? Judging anything and anybody through thoughts. Verbally judging. Lust. Control and greed. Attachment. Judging the Creator. or fear and anger? Which of the following sense organ is connected the most to the energy of Earth, represented by Earthos? The eyes and ears of the soul. The sense of sight, the physical eyes. The sense of taste, the mouth and tongue. The sense of smell, the nose. The sense of the mind. The sense of hearing, the physical ears. The sense of touch, the fingers. Which sense are connected the most to the energy of Earth, represented by Earthos, giving us a sense of feeling connected to the Earth? Premeditation sense, musk, patchouli, lavender, violet and myrrh. Focus and nerve calming, frankincense, henna, mandarin and bergamot. Emotionally calming, sage, juniper, geranium and clary sage. Breathing assisting scents, eucalyptus, rosemary, mint and camphor. Digestive assisting scents, fennel, peppermint, basil and chamomile. Flower scents to assist immune system, jasmine, rose, ylang-ylang and geranium. Grounding and cleansing assisting scents, sandalwood, cedarwood, oak moss and pine. Which foods are connected the most to the energy of Earth, represented by Earthos? Meditation, food for the soul, juice and water fasts. Fruit and vegetable fast for clarity of mind and positive thoughts. Foods growing up to knee height, water energy foods such as vegetables, pineapple, strawberry, melons and pumpkins. Foods growing under the ground, earth energy foods such as potatoes, carrots, beets, garlic, radishes and onions. Single food fasting and positive words. Foods growing in the trees, air energy foods such as oranges, apples, avocado and nuts. Foods growing up to man-sized height, fire energy foods such as beans, grains and corn. Which materials and fabrics are connected the most to the energy of Earth, represented by Earthos? Cocos and sheer material, cotton and straw, linen and bamboo, wool, stone, wood, marble, gemstones and rugs, mirrors, glass or silk. Which fitness activities are connected the most to the energy of Earth, represented by Earthos? Exercises for endurance, aerobic activities and breathing exercises. Interval exercises with explosive motions, martial art for balance between action and rest. Meditative activities, concentration exercises, exercises for strength and power, exercises with sound release, exercises for flexibility, stretching, mobilization, dance and aquatic activities. The following questions are separate from the map. What elements would you bring in to create a really cozy home feeling? What would you eat to feel more grounded? What kind of exercises would you do to feel more grounded and strong? What smells would you like to feel more grounded when being hyper?